Chosen one, this message is not random, and this moment is not delayed. For a long time, people assumed your silence meant defeat, your waiting meant abandonment, and your hidden season meant you were forgotten. They spoke too soon. What they couldn't see was the divine work happening beyond human eyes. While they counted you out, God was counting you in. While they moved on, heaven was setting the stage. You weren't ignored. You were being prepared. What's coming will rewrite every false narrative spoken about you. Get ready, because God is about to move in a way that shocks everyone who doubted your purpose, questioned your calling, and underestimated your destiny. Chosen one, you must fully understand this truth. Deep in your spirit, delay is not denial, and silence is not abandonment. What looked like nothing happening was actually everything happening beneath the surface. God works in layers, not in haste. While you were waiting, He was removing weaknesses you didn't even know you had. He was teaching you endurance, patience, and obedience in moments where quitting would have been easier. The delay was intentional, because if the blessing had come earlier, it might have destroyed you instead of elevating you. God was protecting both the promise and the person receiving it. There were seasons where you prayed and heard nothing, knocked and saw no doors open, showed up and felt unseen. Those moments were not punishment, they were training. God was teaching you how to stand without reassurance, how to trust without evidence, and how to keep moving forward without applause. This is the kind of faith that cannot be shaken later. Anyone can believe when things are going well, but only the chosen learn how to believe when everything feels still. That stillness built a foundation that fame, success, or recognition will never crack. People misunderstood your delay because they judge progress by noise. They assumed that because you weren't visible, you weren't advancing. But God develops His strongest vessels in hidden places. He strengthens roots before allowing fruit to appear. While others rushed ahead without preparation, you were being refined. Your character was being shaped so that when influence comes, it doesn't corrupt you. Your heart was being guarded so that when doors open, pride doesn't enter with you. Chosen one. The waiting season stripped you of the need to explain yourself. You learned that not everyone deserves access to your process. You learned that God's approval outweighs human validation. You stopped chasing attention and started chasing alignment. That shift is powerful. That's why when God moves you forward, it will feel effortless. You won't have to force connections, prove your worth, or compete for space. What is meant for you will recognize you without resistance. The delay also exposed who was only around for convenience. When you had nothing to offer but faith, many disappeared. That was not loss, that was clarity. God removed people who would have mishandled your next season. If they couldn't respect you in waiting, they wouldn't protect you in abundance. The loneliness you felt was not because you were forgotten, but because God was creating room for peace, room for discernment, room for the right connections at the right time. Chosen one, you were also learning obedience in small, unseen ways. You obeyed when it didn't benefit you immediately. You stayed kind when you could have grown cold. You remained faithful when results were delayed. Heaven noticed every quiet choice. Every time you chose integrity over shortcuts, humility over ego, faith over fear, you were being marked for greater responsibility. God doesn't elevate talent alone, He elevates trustworthiness. What's important now is that you don't rush the final moments of preparation. Sometimes the hardest part of waiting is right before the breakthrough. That's when doubt whispers louder and exhaustion sets in. But this is where maturity shows. You no longer panic like before. You no longer chase what leaves you anxious. You've learned to rest while trusting God's timing. That rest is evidence of growth. When the shift happens, people will say it happened suddenly. They won't see the nights you cried quietly, the prayers you whispered when hope felt thin, or the strength it took to keep believing when nothing made sense. But God saw it all. The delay was not wasted. It was invested. Every tear watered your future. Every moment of patience strengthened your authority. Chosen one. Carry this with you. If God delayed it, He designed it. Nothing about your journey is accidental. The silence shaped you. The waiting protected you. And the preparation ensured that when the promise arrives, you won't drop it. What's next will make sense of everything you endured. Stay steady. Stay faithful. The delay is ending, and the reason behind it is about to be revealed. Chosen one. What others failed to understand is that God never isolates without intention. The separation you experienced was not rejection, it was redirection. While people assumed you were being pushed aside, God was pulling you closer. He stepped in and began to rearrange your environment, because the next version of you could not survive in the same circles, habits, or conversations. What felt like loss was actually precision. God was aligning you with purpose, not popularity. There were moments when familiar voices grew distant, when invitations stopped coming, and when connections faded without explanation. That silence hurt, because it came from places you once felt safe. But God was protecting you from interference. Some people were meant to walk with you for a season, not for destiny. If they had remained, they would have diluted your focus, questioned your obedience, or planted doubt during moments when faith needed to be strong. God separated you so you could hear Him without distortion. Chosen one. Isolation sharpens discernment. When distractions are removed, your spiritual hearing becomes clearer. You began to recognize the difference between God's voice and the noise of opinions. You stopped moving based on pressure and started moving based on peace. That inner clarity is rare, and it only develops in quiet places. God knew that before He could elevate you publicly, He had to anchor you privately. Influence without discernment leads to confusion, but discernment first leads to authority. This season also exposed who was attached to your potential versus who was committed to your purpose. Some admired what you might become, but had no patience for the process required to get there. When the journey slowed, they drifted. That was not betrayal, that was revelation. God was teaching you that not everyone who claps for you is assigned to you. Learning this now saved you from deeper wounds later. Chosen one. Being set apart often feels lonely, but it builds spiritual stamina. You learned how to sit with yourself, confront unresolved fears, and heal without distractions. You faced parts of you that applause once covered. You dealt with insecurity, self-doubt, and old patterns that could not go with you into the next season. God allowed the quiet so nothing broken would travel with you into blessing. Healing is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. The separation also trained you to stop explaining your journey. You realize that divine alignment does not need public understanding. God's instructions are not always meant to be shared, because some people will challenge what they are not called to comprehend. You learned to move in obedience even when it made no sense to others. That level of trust positions you for sudden favor, because heaven responds to quiet faith faster than loud declarations. Chosen one, understand this deeply. When God prepares to elevate someone, He often removes them from familiar ground. Moses spent years in the wilderness before leadership. David was hidden in fields before the throne. Even now, your hidden season is writing a testimony that will later encourage many. What feels like obscurity is actually intimacy. God speaks more clearly when fewer voices compete for attention. As the alignment continues, you will notice peace replacing confusion. The urge to chase people, prove yourself, or force outcomes will fade. That is evidence of maturity. You are no longer desperate for connection. You are selective with assignment. The right people will find you at the right time, and they will recognize you without explanation. You won't have to perform or convince. Alignment recognizes alignment. Chosen one. Don't rush to reconnect with what God intentionally disconnected you from. Trust His pruning. What He removed could not go where He is taking you. The space around you now is sacred. It is making room for clarity, strength, and divine relationships that support your calling. When God brings you forward, it won't be crowded or confusing. It will be calm, ordered, and unmistakably guided by Him. Chosen one. The transformation God has been working in you is deeper than anything people can see on the surface. What will shock them most is not the doors that open or the elevation that comes, but the calm authority you now carry. They expected you to emerge angry, defensive, or hardened by what you endured. Instead, you carry peace. That peace did not come from comfort. It was forged in pressure. It is the kind of peace that only grows when you survive storms without losing your faith. There were many moments when disappointment tried to settle into your spirit. You had every reason to grow bitter, to replay the hurt, to keep score of who left and who failed you. But God interrupted that cycle. He taught you how to release without revenge, how to forgive without reconciliation, and how to move forward without dragging the past behind you. This inner work mattered more than external success. Without it, elevation would have amplified pain instead of purpose. Chosen one. Emotional maturity is one of the highest forms of strength. You learn to respond instead of react. You learn that silence can be more powerful than explanation. You learn that not every battle requires your voice. While others expected confrontation, you chose restraint. While they waited for collapse, You built resilience. That self-control will confuse those who once triggered you, because they no longer have access to your reactions. Your peace is evidence of healing, and healing changes how you move. You no longer seek validation from those who doubted you. You no longer crave closure from people who couldn't meet you in truth. God taught you how to find closure in obedience, not in apologies. That freedom is visible. When people see you steady instead of shaken, focused instead of frantic, they will sense something different. That difference is spiritual authority. Chosen one. Confidence now flows quietly through you. It is not loud or attention-seeking. It does not need to announce itself. It comes from knowing who you are and whose you are. You are no longer driven by fear of being overlooked. You trust divine timing. That trust allows you to walk into rooms without shrinking or striving. You carry yourself with ease because your identity is settled. That alone will shock those who once thought your confidence depended on their approval. God also refined your motives during the waiting. You no longer desire success to prove others wrong. You desire alignment to honor God right. That shift purified your intentions. When blessings come, they will not intoxicate you. When recognition appears, it will not define you. You are grounded. You understand that favor is a responsibility, not a trophy. That mindset prepares you to hold what many lose. Chosen one, your reactions used to be shaped by wounds. Now they are shaped by wisdom. You pause before responding. You discern before engaging. You listen more than you speak. That growth did not happen overnight. It came from choosing reflection over reaction again and again. God was rewiring how you process pressure so that future challenges would not derail you. This emotional strength is part of your preparation for leadership, whether visible or unseen. People will notice that you no longer chase conversations that drain you. You no longer argue to be understood. You no longer beg for respect. You move with boundaries, and boundaries are a sign of self-respect. Those boundaries will offend some, especially those who benefited from your lack of them before. But they will protect you. God taught you that peace is not weakness, it is discipline. Chosen one, when God reveals this new version of you, it will quietly unsettle those who expected you to break. They will look for cracks and find composure. They will look for chaos and find clarity. They will look for the old you and realize that person no longer exists. Not because you became cold, but because you became whole. This transformation is the true elevation. Positions can change, circumstances can shift, but a healed spirit sustains everything God adds. You are walking proof that pain does not have the final word. Peace does, and that peace will speak louder than any explanation you could ever give. Chosen one, what God is about to release through your life is bigger than personal vindication. It is purpose in motion. Your journey was never meant to end with you. It was designed to become a living testimony for others who feel invisible, delayed, or overlooked. The waiting you endured is about to speak louder than any words you could ever say. People who are silently losing hope will recognize themselves in your story, and without you preaching, they will begin to believe again. There are many who have been faithful in obscurity, praying in secret, showing up without recognition, and wondering if God sees them. When they see God move in your life, it will answer prayers they never voiced aloud. Your breakthrough will become confirmation that God still honors obedience, patience, and trust. This is why the process took time. God was shaping a story that would restore faith in others, not just reward you. Chosen one, your elevation will arrive with unusual ease. People will expect struggle, resistance, or visible striving, but instead they will witness doors opening smoothly. This will confuse those who believe success must always be forced. They will not understand how opportunities align, how help appears at the right moment, or how favor surrounds you quietly. What they are witnessing is not coincidence. It is the result of alignment meeting divine timing. God is intentional about how He blesses His chosen. He allows the fruit to appear suddenly, so no one can take credit for the growth. Those who once overlooked you will see progress they cannot explain. They will call it luck, timing, or chance. But deep down they will sense something higher at work. Your life will become evidence that when God decides to move, no delay can stop Him, and no opinion can limit Him. Chosen one, your story will teach others that waiting is not wasted. Every season of stillness, every unanswered prayer, every moment of doubt was preparing something greater. People who are tempted to give up will see that perseverance produces results beyond imagination. They will realize that God does not forget faithful hearts. He remembers, and He responds at the right time. What's powerful is that your breakthrough will not require explanation. You won't need to defend your journey or justify your progress. God will do the explaining through results. Favor will speak where words fall short. Peace will speak where arguments once existed. Protection will speak where fear once lived. This is how God restores hope, by letting people see His hand at work without human interference. Chosen one, as your life begins to shift, stay aware of your influence. Even in silence, people are watching. Your consistency, humility, and gratitude will matter more than any announcement. God is trusting you with visibility because you learned how to be faithful without it. That faithfulness is rare, and it carries weight in the spiritual realm. Heaven responds to those who remain steady when no one is watching. Your journey will also remind others that God's timing is personal. What arrives later often lasts longer. What is built slowly stands stronger. People will stop comparing their process to others and start trusting their own path again. That shift alone will heal many hearts. God uses your obedience to unlock courage in others. Chosen one, remember that your breakthrough is not an ending, it is an assignment. As God elevates you, He will also expand your responsibility to encourage, uplift, and remain grounded. Stay connected to the source that carried you through the waiting. Stay humble in moments of honor. Stay discerning as new doors open. Your story will continue to unfold, and each chapter will point back to God's faithfulness. What God is doing through you is not loud, but it is lasting. It will revive hope, restore faith, and remind many that silence does not mean absence. God is always working, and through your life, others will finally believe that their turn is coming too. Chosen one, as everything begins to unfold, the most important instruction is not about speed or visibility, but posture. Stay humble, stay ready, and stay rooted. What God is about to do through you will draw attention, but attention is not the goal. Obedience is. Humility is what keeps the blessing from becoming a burden. You did not arrive here by your own strength. And remembering that truth will protect you in rooms you once prayed to enter. There will be moments when recognition feels overwhelming, especially after being overlooked for so long. The temptation will be to either shrink back out of fear or overextend out of excitement. God is calling you to neither. Stand steady, walk confidently but gently. Let gratitude guide every step. Gratitude keeps your heart soft and your spirit teachable. It reminds you that favor is not entitlement, it is stewardship. Chosen one, readiness is not about knowing every step in advance. It is about staying responsive. God will open doors quickly, and some opportunities will arrive faster than you expected. Do not rush ahead of His voice. Pause, pray, discern. Just because a door opens does not mean you must run through it immediately. Some doors are tests of alignment, not assignments. Staying ready means staying connected to God's direction above all else. As God elevates you, new voices will surround you. Some will praise sincerely, others will flatter with hidden motives. Discernment is critical in this season. You learned in isolation how to hear God clearly. Do not lose that clarity now. Not every offer is a blessing. Not every connection is divine. Protect your peace. Protect your values. God did not bring you this far to be distracted at the final stretch. Chosen one. Humility will also show in how you treat people who knew you before the shift. Resist the urge to prove anything. You don't need to revisit old wounds or seek validation from those who doubted you. Let your consistency speak. Let kindness replace explanation. God will handle the vindication. Your role is to remain aligned, not reactive. There may be moments when people who once dismissed you try to re-enter your life. This is where maturity is tested. Forgiveness does not always require access. You can release resentment without reopening doors. Trust the discernment God built in you during the waiting. If someone could not respect your process, they may not honor your purpose. Boundaries are not bitterness, they are wisdom. Chosen one, remain anchored in the habits that sustained you when no one was watching. Prayer, reflection, discipline, and integrity are what carried you through obscurity. Do not abandon them now that visibility increases. Public success without private grounding leads to collapse. God is calling you to be the same person in private that you are becoming in public. That consistency will keep you protected. As you move forward, remember that this season is not about proving your worth. It is about fulfilling your assignment. God chose you because you were willing, not because you were perfect. Mistakes may still happen, but humility will allow you to learn without losing direction. Stay open to correction. Stay willing to grow. God promotes those who remain teachable. Chosen one, what is coming will silence doubt, but do not let it feed pride. Pride disconnects. Humility attracts grace. When you stay grounded, God stays close. When you acknowledge Him in every step, He continues to guide your path. This is how longevity is built, not through hype, but through faithfulness. Stand firm in who you are becoming. Do not rush the process, and do not resist the responsibility. Walk forward with confidence wrapped in humility. God is not just shocking those who doubted you. He is establishing you for the long term. Stay ready, stay humble, stay aligned. What God is doing now is only the beginning.